Hey guys, what's up? This is Brett. Welcome to this week's episode of Friday on the Turntable. Today I'm going to be discussing Lana Del Rey's Ultraviolence, but before I do that, I would just like to take a moment to let you guys know that my best albums of 2014 so far, the midpoint yearly list, is now up on my Life on This Planet blog. I will have a link down below in the description box, so be sure to check that out. I've enlisted the help of several of my friends to provide their lists, so definitely check that out. Appearing on my list, as well as making an appearance, I think, on my friend Sarah's list, is Lana Del Rey's Ultraviolence. This just came out a couple weeks ago. It's her second album under the name Lana Del Rey, her stage name, although she had a prior release that came out before Born to Die. But for all purposes, I'm just going to count this as her second album. So definitely no sophomore slump here. I think she's come back with an incredibly strong second album. The sound of it, to me, is so cinematic. It's dark. It doesn't have some of the more poppier elements that Born to Die had. The overall sound of the album is more similar to the title track, Born to Die. Like I said, cinematic, dark, strings. There's an underlying pedal steel that runs through a lot of the songs. And in some instances, it reminds me a lot more of Paradise, kind of the in-between EP, mini LP that came out after Born to Die. It was produced by Dan Auerbach from the Black Keys. Now, I am not a Black Keys fan at all, but I have to say that he did a fantastic job with the production on this. Lots of really cool elements, lots of textures, and the album, to me, sounds like it's almost a soundtrack, like a film soundtrack to a non-existent movie. It's very vintage sounding, retro, and it makes me, it almost conjures up images for me of listening to like an old Frank Sinatra record. The emphasis is definitely on the vocals, but what's going on in the background is quite lush, textured, and it's actually quite excellent. My three favorite tracks on the album, the opening track, Cruel World, is phenomenal. It kicks the album off, it's intense, and then second favorite is probably Brooklyn Baby, and I wrote down some of the lyrics on this one because I can't help but every time I hear the song I laugh because it's just kind of ridiculous, but one of the great lines in there is, if you don't like it, you can beat it, baby, which I thought is great. But within the song, she's talking about she gets high on hydroponic weed, she has a rare jazz collection, and she gets down to beat poetry, and just and her boyfriend leads a band, and she sings Lou Reed, and just the whole thing, I just find it funny, but at the same time, I think it's really good, and that's Brooklyn Baby. And my third favorite track is Pretty When You Cry. I love the sound of her vocals. They're almost childlike, very fragile, great vocal performance. She sounds excellent throughout the whole album. I don't think there's a weak track on this, but I want to show you guys the vinyl edition here. It's spread out over 2 records, so you can see there's 4 sides on that one. I'll just show you one of the records here. They have little flower scenes on one label, and then on the back side it has the track listing. And one of the disappointing things, whenever you're buying records these days, you hope that there's at least going to be a download card so you can, put it on your iPod or burn it to CD so you can listen to it in your car or whatever. That's not included, which I find is disappointing, especially when you're paying over 20 bucks for a new release. It does have an insert in there. There's her mock Pepsi shirt that says peyote, smoking a cigarette, a la American Beauty there, laying in some flowers. And then it has the credits for all the songs, which is cool. Not the lyrics, but the individual credits on every track, so you can see all the musicians that played on everything. Yeah, but I think that's it, guys. I just have to say that I mentioned it before, one of my favorite albums so far of 2014. I was really, really impressed with this one. Check it out. Check out my best albums of 2014 list, linked below. Thanks for watching, guys.